around this computer.
Morning,
All right,
Gary.
we are live. Let me share my screen again. So, first exciting news I want to share with you is I no longer want to be in charge of creating all the topics for the meeting. I want you guys to be in charge and help out. So if you go to the Cusp website, cuspproductions.com, click on the more, and click on topic submittal. It'll be like that. Sometimes you got to refresh the page, topic submittal. You can put in your address and the topic and submit it. Sends me an email. And we'll crowdsource our topics for the meetings. They may or may not go in the next meeting. I'm trying to right size it with the number of topics. If we get an inordinate amount, we'll have to do it at, my discretion in another meeting. So, but this is a good place for you to bring up things that you want to talk about. Did you say Gary was here?
He was a moment ago. I saw him.
Strange.
Gonzo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sort of.
I know Gary's unpredictable. He might turn up anytime.
Let me say something here. No, he's not there. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, when you were trying to find your screen share, or if you were.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the mind map. We've done that. One of the other thing, if anybody knows any audio engineers who can do backtracks, we are in desperate need for somebody who can do that for us.
Yes, an audio engineer.
So if you have any connections that you feel confident can get the job done, please let us know. I'm going to wait for AWS with Martin. Patreon, I'm going to wait. There's Gary. He's back. That's Gary. That's Gary. All right. Let's go into motivational techniques because we seem to be having issues motivating people to finish things. And we talk about, what's stopping you from finishing. What stops you from finishing, Kev?
I think the main thing is getting pulled into many directions and having too many things on, too many plates in the air, basically.
So it's focus?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, look at the dog. Nice dog, James. Speaking of focus, right? So what do you guys think motivates people? Because, for instance, I'll give you an example. We knew this guy who was an audio engineer who could get the job done for us. And we offered him money. And he still didn't come through. I don't know what it is. What do you guys think would motivate somebody to finish?
Well, to be honest, it's that sense of the achievement. For example, I've been doing. I won't ramble on for too much about it, but I've been doing a few websites for different people over the years, just friends of mine and my dad and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And the company we used before was really good. It was well thought out. The infrastructure was there. It was a great site to use, very easy. Then they got bought out by GoDaddy a couple of years ago, and they jacked the prices up, and it was ridiculous. And you were only getting the same service, and the UI, the user experience was horrible. So it became much more difficult to do anything on that website. So I bit the bullet and jumped ship and went to another company, a competitor, and tried to do it with them. And it was no better whatsoever. And I found it extremely difficult, and there's been lots of errors along the way, lots of bumps in the road for these like 5 or 6 websites that I maintain. Then last weekend, I spoke to an old friend of mine
Mhm.
And he now uses a company which was the original devs from this previous company before they got bought out by GoDaddy.
Oh,
The previous devs, they've set up their own company, they've gone in their own direction, and he sent me some info about it. I set up a company, I set up an account on Monday, and I'd set up 3 sites within a day. It's just a joy to use. You just set up your domains, forward it to the site, set the site up. So I've just been messing around, and I am sort of finishing. So this has been much easier. I've got a much more focused flow of work. I'm ticking things off as I'm doing them, and it's just all coming together nicely. This is just a much more streamlined way of doing things. So there, there, there's so many things, there's so many factors, isn't there? There's always something that can stop you from finishing.
right. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing.
I will send some links around later.
Great.
I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I was having a little sound issue, but it seems fine.
Ciao, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Fabsy, how you doing, my friend?
I'm fine, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, mate. Doing good.
So
Well, Matt,
I posted a link in chat. It's a TED Talk by Tim Urban. It's about inside the mind of a master procrastinator. That when you have some time, take a look at. It's an interesting video. So, all right. So now that Gary's here, I don't know if we have James. We don't have James. So let's talk about Patreon. Does everybody know what Patreon is?
Yep.
yes.
All right.
But the process I'm not aware of.
Create
More
on
or less.
Patreon. You can sign in with Google or Facebook. You sign up. Let's sign in with Google. Just for funsies. Oh, I already have it. I'm already using it. Let's. What? Fine. No, it's not. You're lying. All right. Let's try this. So basically, you go in and you set up your Patreon page, what you're creating. This is my gaming content that I'm doing. Profile pic, little cover art. I got a nice goat on a cow. The URL to your page. A little bit of bio information. You've got different tiers you can add to offer your Patreon, different tiers of when they donate, they can get different tier values. You can also sell merchandise and create merchandise as well. You also set up how you want to be paid, whether it's monthly, per creation, and then there's the payout system where you link in your bank account and they just ACH it over to you monthly. And you've got some page settings where you can do some different things. All your social links you can put in. If it's adult content, Gary. But you
Why
set this
me?
all up. What's that?
Why, Gary?
Looking at you, Gary. Let's go to my page.
Give my ignorance. How do you drive people to this site then?
You share the link with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is my page. This is
Yeah,
the public view.
it's
Pretty simplistic.
Patreon is a good one because it's got the tier system. I haven't used it personally, but I know that a lot of, for example, comic books specifically, a lot of artists are doing their releases, and if you buy one level, you get this, and then if you get the next level, you get a different version with different prints, and they're called perks. So you can then get more, you know. So I'm thinking of putting stuff on there like designing sites or designing, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you depending on what service you give people.
Uh-huh.
It's a good idea.
Any other questions about Patreon? Does that answer?
Yeah, a little. Kinda. I don't remember if it was last week we discussed this or whether it was in a private chat about some apps that will link all of your social media together, like LinkedIn, Twitter, and things like that,
Uh-huh.
which can help to drive people to the Patreon site.
Yeah. There's all sorts of mail platforms.
Yeah. The
'Cause
whole
it,
thing
it can
is
be in your profile and things, can't it?
the whole sort of process is circular, isn't it? Right? You have to have all of your social media set up, all tied together, all sharing the same content, and it's a nebulous item, isn't it? As a brand or as a service, or you know, in cyberspace.
And it would be so useful as well because if you're creating, you just don't have the time to do all this. You'd need a team of people to keep up with everything.
So here's one, Sprinkle.
Is this one that you've used?
No, it's just the first one that came up under the ads, but this allows you to set up an account and blast to up to 35 different social media platforms at once.
Wow.
Yep. But that's just one. Let's take a look.
And you know, there's all sorts of options. Like for example, I've just set up just a domain, and so if you had your own, coded your own, had your own .com and your own website, like as a starting base, then you can completely customize it. But yeah, there's dozens of these services.
Yep, I'm going to post this in the chat. Hold on. Chat.
Maybe post it on the Cusp website as well.
That's not what it's about.
Well, it could be quite useful for people.
Yeah.
Like new people that join after we've had this discussion that know not of it.
There's a link to the 22 best tools for social media posting and scheduling.
Wow.
Enjoy.
Oh, I've heard of TweetDeck as well. That's one of the big ones.
Yeah, TweetDeck's pretty big.
Yeah.
And I think it's free.
Yeah, I think there's tiers, isn't there?
Yep.
Feedly. I remember Hootsuite as well, a long while ago.
What was that, Kevin? Hootsuite.
Hootsuite.
Is that HOOT?
Yeah, number 22 on the list.
Is that sweet?
SUIT.
Like
SUIT.
hoodlum?
Yeah.
Are you looking at my screen?
Gotcha.
I'm pointing right to it.
Oh, it's well, you know I'm stupid.
Awkward. All right. What else do we have on the mind map? We got Patreon. Let's take a look at the mind map. Talked about motivational techniques, talked about audio engineers, talked about Patreon.
What do you mean by the audio engineers thing? Like,
Somebody who can do backtracks, additional sounds, virtual instruments to fill out a song.
okay.
Exactly. We desperately need that.
Somebody who can use like Cubase or FL Studio or something
Okay.
like that to
Yeah.
mix up these songs so they sound like there's a band.
Exactly.
I can probably be more efficient at doing the editing if I get sent the separate tracks, not just like
Stems.
everything on one track, but separate tracks.
Well, Gary,
And
could you
probably mix it
work on
for you.
Sibelius file and turn it into a Cubase file, something like that? Because at the moment I have written 3 songs, but just on Sibelius, and I have sent the files to Rob just to have an idea of the songs I have written. But I don't know how to edit the song, how to add a band and virtual instruments and something like that. Exactly
Yeah,
like Rob said. But you can do that. You can do
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's no problem. It's just that you know what's happening at the moment, so it's a little tricky for me time-wise. But
Mhm.
yeah, I
Where,
can do that for you.
where are the stems located?
Perfect.
Oh, you have to explain what stems mean.
Like the raw WAVs, aren't they? Like the raw studio WAV files.
Yeah.
The original recordings. Is that right?
Yeah, because you would have, say, piano on one track and then the violin on the second track, and the guitar on another track, the vocals on another track. But
Exactly.
I'd need
Exactly.
to receive them in a package where they're all individual so that I
Mhm.
can mix each one and then add upon it. That's the most efficient and probably best way to do it. I know that
Exactly.
sounds a little advanced, Fabsy, but you will get the hang of it, my friend. We need to get you Cubase or something.
That's the right way to go. But the second option is that one should play the notes you see on the Sibelius file and play them again for each instrument for vocals on the new Cubase file. It would take a long time to do that. But at
Yes,
the
it will.
moment, I know nothing about Cubase. I saw people using it, and it's formidable. But you have to know how to do that. And so,
Yeah, I would be able to do that for you, and I think Kev probably has some knowledge
Uh,
of using the software as
if
well.
you could give me if you could send me a link to the files, yeah, I could certainly have a look at that as well. I have used both of those programs. Yeah. Okay.
mhm.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
The problem is, yes, and just to kind of draft, to have an idea of the song and to create the first arrangement of that song,
Mhm.
and then so you can work on it later, and because well, the best way to do that is to be all together in the same room, and so please do this, do that, add a violin here, add a saxophone here, and put
Yeah,
the two things together. And I don't want this accompaniment, I want a different note, so create this effect. And so there's a lot to do, and from a distance it's very difficult. But just to have an idea of not a song played just by a pianist on the piano, and where you have to imagine how the songs
yeah,
should sound like. And
Mm.
while you are working on something, things may change. Maybe you get an idea and a new
yeah,
one, and so you hear a special effect and that you had never heard before, and you say, "Well, I like to make the song like this," and so, but there must be someone who is very who knows the thing just close to you, so you can work together. And from a distance is it's very difficult, but we can do that. At the moment, only Gary and Kevin seems to know a lot of things about Cubase and other programs. And hmm, am I
There's
right?
there's
Yep.
also
Yeah.
Ableton.
Yeah.
Um,
Ableton. Yep.
yeah,
Isn't Ableton better for live stuff? I haven't really used it. I must admit, but
no, it's good for however you choose to use it. It's quite
okay.
versatile.
Mm,
But there's a program called Splice,
Mm.
which I believe is free, and you set up an account and you both kind of join this account. I don't know if it's just one or two people, or just two people that can join it, or whether more can
mm,
join the same account. Not the account on Ableton. Hang on, I'm not wording this correctly. So you'd need to have Ableton.
Yeah.
You'd need to have Splice,
Got you.
and you would share a project, and you would log into this project. and every time you would save it, you can share it with someone else. So if you're on something like WhatsApp with each other over your Wi-Fi, which hopefully would be free, it should be free, um, you can discuss in real time the changes that you're making.
Yeah.
Hmm, pretty cool.
And it looks like you can rent to own plugins. So you can rent the plugin, the VSTs.
Oh, that's really good. Trust me, that's
Yeah.
really good.
Gary is 2,000 years ahead of me.
It's okay, my friend.
Well,
You quite, yeah.
it's like
I've
listening
already
to
collaborated
the
on one song.
prophets. So
That-
I'm.
That
I-
Nin
I-
Ring song,
I
I
totally
collaborated on
trust
that
you,
with a guy
Gary.
in New York in real time.
Nice. Very cool.
It
All
takes
right.
a little while to learn, but everything does.
Everything
Yeah.
does, doesn't it?
Rob has got all my files on my Sibelius file. So if you have to do something with those files, just ask Rob because he's the right person to share the files with you. Because I would mess it all up. And that I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, let's switch topics here. James, are you with us?
I am.
So one of the topics that Gary put up on the website through the topic submittal was Cyber FM hosting. And a couple of things that they wanted to talk about is, how do I get a slot? What are the rules? What equipment do I need?
Okay, so wait, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yep, so done. My life's a mess. So Cyber FM, we have the old way, right? The legacy way is that you could be a DJ on one of our channels,
Mhm.
right? Is my fan? Do you hear my fan?
No.
All right, cool. So you'd be, if you said, if Gary said, I want to be a DJ for an hour, like Ricky, he's out by London. You need compatible broadcast software, which ranges from free to about $300. And obviously you get what you pay for, right?
Right.
But that's really about it, other than you need a commitment, right? There's nothing worse than when you set up a show and then all of a sudden you never run that show.
Right.
We have partnered with good radio networks that are not us, basically with the same requirements, like be legit, be real,
Mhm.
be licensed. If you're your own rate, you gotta get your own. We're not covering licensing, so that's a whole nother world. If
Could
you
you
were
repeat that,
to,
James, about the licensing?
yeah, we're not going to cover. If you're a different radio network, we're not going to cover your license.
Oh,
because that's your own business, right?
Right.
Where this is when we went from take a DJ on, like you could do a show with us, you're good. But if we were to, when we partner with, so in the Cyber FM app, we have Westlove's East Radio Network, which is tremendous. They are, we love them. Then you got Boston's Best, which is at Moe's place.
Mhm.
He's all right. He's learning, but he's up 24/7, so we care about that. And then so there's different levels in between. So it all comes down to what you're looking to do for radio, for music. So I'm always happy to teach new DJs, but you never have enough of them.
Great. Thank you.
Cool.
That helps solidify. Are you good, Gary?
yeah, I would love for Kev and I to have a chat maybe after the meeting about if we could get an hour slot, have a little bit of comedy, a little bit of sketch, and some
Gary used
good
to
heavy metal.
always send me those Instagram. Remember? Not Instagram, Telegram. I used to play your stuff on the air.
Yeah, you still do. It's
Sure.
still in rotation. Thank you very
I
much.
have a show tonight, actually, every Saturday. I think it's 6 hours or so.
It's okay. If I ever think if you want to do that, we could come up with some characters or some little sketches between songs.
I'd rather do music than that, to be honest.
Well, you have to do a bit of talking as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Gary's a little
what's
fired now with
the
that.
Harry Enfield sketch?
Well, you guys can work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the thing going viral right now where they're making fun of the bottle of water. You heard that?
No.
They're making fun of London people, I guess, saying the way they say bottle of water.
Right.
Like going viral on TikTok because they
Whoa.
Like- right. And you're that one friend in the group of New Yorkers. They're like, dude, why are you talking like that? And he's like, what? I want a bottle of water.
The water in Mallorca don't taste like what it ought to.
Yeah, it's pockets hilarious.
So I want to talk a little bit about creating a website to sell VSTs. This was another one of Gary's ideas. I have a site already up. That's just kind of a placeholder. There you are. That we could do something with this muso.shop. I think it's a good name. I think it would
Like
lend
yours?
itself. Yeah.
Cool. Huh, yeah, cool. Is this WordPress or is it Shoply or something?
Wix.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, great. Wix is really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice stuff. So
Yeah.
How do you spell that, Rob? Is it Wix? W-I-X?
Wix.com.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
That is a really good starting point. I mean, a better starting point would be me because I know that is like I am a web designer for a living. But as far as just
getting
going
something
on
up there. Yeah.
yeah, it is fantastic. It really
super,
is.
super easy to use.
I would really recommend it.
I will say this with Wix. Once you're in, there's really no getting out.
Sounds
Right.
It's like
You
the internet mafia.
Yeah,
boy.
you are committing to a lot more than you think. when you
Yep.
sign up for Wix.
Oh, you want to transfer that domain? Oh no,
No.
sorry.
So I'll
Yeah.
show you a little bit about the interface with it. This is
Cool.
my Cusp Productions.
Wait a minute.
So if we want to go up and say edit the menu, what's going on? Come on. Why you gotta be like that?
Always when you go live.
Right. Yeah. It's always in the demo that it breaks your heart. Works fine. So I can edit the menu, go in and add an item, move items around, change them.
Have you looked at webflow.com?
No, I'm pretty happy with Wix. It does what I need.
They're like the direct competitor of Wix.
Yeah. And I can go directly into the editor and do CSS and JavaScript. I can tweak it all out if I want, but this ADI editor that they have works pretty well. They got all sorts of widgets for like playing music and stuff, and templates for all your.
Please don't show.
I was
No,
gonna say,
oh,
they
you
have
did.
themes?
And there's
They have
Gary.
like a theme that you choose from.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of
And I
themes.
had that picture.
So you've got different themes you can build.
May I ask, James, what was the other website that you mentioned? The competitor.
Webflow.com. I've used it.
Webflow.
Webflow.
Yeah. Can you post a link in chat for everybody?
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
I think Kev's in the witness protection program. I just see a picture of a window with some flowers in it.
He's on the lam.
it's all dark. He doesn't have a light on or anything.
There's certain times where I just don't want to break out Notepad for HTML.
Right.
And when you find these Wix and Webflows, you're like, pretty good. Something, yeah. But
Yeah.
Webflow is that's just I used it I had a little experience with Wix, had a little experience with Webflow, and
I like Wix is nice because like they have this like video library where I can upload videos into it and then just put the web part on it and categorize them and do all sorts of really cool stuff with it.
it's
You
not
can
bad.
you can manage your blog in here. So I can go into each of these.
Still not that good.
What's that?
The title made me giggle.
Oh, it's a great article from Seth. Do you know who Seth Godin is?
No,
Oh, he's amazing. Amazing writer. Started in marketing, but definitely go up on the website and read this. You are not good. Yeah, it's clickbait, but it's a really good interpretation. But he's I love him. I've seen him in person a couple of times up in Cambridge. But he's a really good person to follow. SethGodin.com. He's got you can sign up for a daily email from him of motivational type stuff. That's really good. So I'd highly recommend that too. It's for free. He sells books, got tons of books. He's got one book. It's 18 pounds.
In white?
It's
Blimey.
like it's like this big.
An encyclopedia.
It's huge. But it's all about his stuff that he's created over the years. And it's pretty impressive. But yeah, Wix is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
that Webflow is pretty good as well, actually.
is it nice?
Yeah, I haven't. Someone I work with uses it. I've heard good things.
So let me talk a little bit about what we've done. We've created a couple of bots. We've created, James, for you, the Cyber FM bot.
yeah, I played with it.
Did you?
It broke my Discord on desktop, but
Oh,
it worked on my phone.
interesting.
But
Well, we can fix that.
I wrote it off as being my Mac.
Yeah, because it works fine on my desktop and I'm on PC.
It works fine on mine. My laptop is on the way out. But those bots, I think, because of like the handshake mechanism, I think they sketch out from time to time.
In fact, let me try right now because ever since my Discord just don't launch.
That's weird. So all these bots are hosted up on Amazon Web Services. I don't know if anybody knows about Amazon Web Services, but you can go up there and sign up for a free micro server. It's only one virtual CPU and 1 gigabyte of RAM, but you can install Ubuntu, you can install Amazon's version of Linux. There's all sorts of free things you can install up there and play around with. We installed Ubuntu and we also installed the GUI. So now we can use remote desktop protocol to RDP into our server and use a graphical user interface with Firefox and file manager, and everything's there. So you're not having to, use all your Linux commands and struggle about. And it's pretty cool. We did have to upgrade the server to make it usable with the bots because they were taking up too much space. So we're on a medium server right now. But I got it for 12 months, the medium server, which is 4 gigabytes of RAM and 2 virtual CPUs. It was, and you get like 15 gigabytes of network traffic with that free. And it was $222 for the year.
Yeah, that's good.
I missed it.
What's that?
What was it?
Amazon Web Services?
Was it light sale or was it EC2?
Say that again. I can't hear you.
You talked about a VM, right? You said 4 gigs of RAM.
A virtual CPU.
Yeah, right. So was that light sale?
I don't know. They say it's a Xenon processor, 3.3 gigahertz.
I think light sale is something else, isn't it? Isn't that to do with light bucket hosting on AWS?
Right. So light sale is basically virtual machines, but so is the EC2. But they have different. I just didn't know which one he chose.
Oh, we're EC2,
Oh, okay.
the Elastic Cloud.
Elastic Cloud, right? Got you.
Because they also have Light Sail on Amazon, which is similar.
I'm sure I had an account. Let me see.
Let me show you all the types of servers you can put up there. It's really boggling. Go into the management console. Who did I use? Is it? I hate these things. Hate them.
Oh, oh yeah, the root users.
What is our password? Oh well, I won't torture you guys with this. I'll have to. I think.
Sorry, go on.
I think that Martin changed the password, so I don't know what it is, and Martin's not here. Damn you, Martin.
You're able to view the pricing and all that without being logged in. Right?
Yeah, you can see the pricing. The sweet spot seems to be that medium server. I like it. If you're just going to be messing around, the microserver works. If you're not really trying to do too much with it, if you just want to check it out, run a few shell commands with PuTTY,
Cool.
and SSH into it. There's a program called PuTTY that allows you to. It's a SSH telnet client. You got to work out a few things. One, you need your public and private keys and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool.
I'm going to give that a look. Cheers, Rob.
And if you need some help setting up the stuff for RDP, there's or the Ubuntu. If you're going to go that route, let me know. We got it all figured out. So there's a few things you need to do. You need to actually let it open up the RDP port. You have to do that. That's another thing in the management console that you have to do. There's some sudo commands that you have to do to install the graphical user interface and things like that. But it's pretty easy to find. We figured it out in a couple hours.
Brilliant.
But it's a good time, and you can do it for free.
Yeah,
So
nice one.
the Cyber FM website, just a website, nothing to do with music, right?
Right.
Served 5 terabytes of bandwidth
Oh, yoy.
the past 30 days.
Wow.
Do you know what that bill would look like in Amazon?
It's actually fairly cheap for bandwidth. It's
I
not
thought
that.
I thought you said 15 gigs,
15 gig for free, and then it's like
$1 a gig or something like that, right?
no, it's like 2
Oh.
cents, 2 cents or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So how is yours streamed, James? How many terabytes did you say?
We've served on the website, the non-music streaming. It says total data served 5 terabytes, 334 gigs cached, 5.3 million requests. I'm looking at Cloudflare and it's scared the crap out of me.
Oh wow, that is heavy traffic. Can that be optimized? Can the site and the code be optimized to,
This is so we use Cloudflare.
Right, yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. Cool.
We get our countries, right? Brazil, 27,000. Brazil's doing more than the US.
Wow. One of the things we're doing with the bot right now is we're optimizing the bot for traffic because it uses a lot of traffic. Because right now, currently, it streams 24/7 into the channels.
Yeah.
Right.
So what we're doing is when everybody leaves the channel, we're pausing the bot, and when somebody comes in, the bot wakes up.
Oh, you mean the Cyber FM bot?
Yep. Yeah,
don't worry about stealing that bandwidth. It's the dent that you make wouldn't even look like a scratch.
No.
You don't have.
I'm not concerned about your bandwidth. Sorry, I'm concerned about me getting overbilled for for the the additional $4 or $5 a month to have it run 24/7.
Oh, I would think inbound is free, no?
Uh,
Oh, but they're listening out from
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you're right. This is stuff that I bet you if I audited myself, I'd be very upset. The bills that we pay.
right.
It's like I don't even want to do. Once a year, you tend to audit all of your, your free trials and your accounts.
Clear them out.
Definitely. I've just been doing that now. This new host I've set up, it's $200 a year, and it's basically infinite domains, infinite applications, infinite routing. So you can just create as many things as you like and have them running, and then all you have to do is point the domain, which can be hosted elsewhere, at it. So you could, for example, if you look at, I put. By the way, you were talking about passwords earlier, and you couldn't find them. I put a thing in the chat, a link in the chat. It's called bitwarden.com. I've been using this now for about 18 months. It's it's a Chrome extension,
Uh-huh.
and it remembers all your passwords and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I use Zoho Vault.
Oh, okay, cool.
The problem wasn't me remembering my password. I remember my password. The problem is Martin changed the password, so
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I can't remember all the passwords now.
The nice thing about Zoho is they have an enterprise option that's fairly cheap, where you can share with teams.
Yeah.
So it could be team-based password sharing.
The link above Bitwarden, tester.pw. That's basically just a website I just threw together in like 30 minutes. I'll just set up a domain, and this whole hosting package is $200 a year so far, and it's it's just like an entry level version, but if it gets bigger, it can then be scaled properly. So it's quite good. It's really cheap. I have been getting so much done this week. It's unbelievable.
And that's which one?
It's called Opal Stack. That's like that's I was telling you about this company who got bought out by GoDaddy and all that.
Right. Yep.
This is like the new one, and I've used it. I've set up about 5 websites this week. The procedure is just so easy once you know how to do it. All you need is the domains. It's great. Oh, that's another one as well. If you haven't started the dark arts of, because everyone uses Gmail, don't they? Everyone has a Google account. You are tied to them for life. They are with you forever. So you might as well buy your web domains through them as well now. So I'll put a link in the chat. And I've been messing around with these as well. Just it's so easy to use.
How's the pricing?
They start at £7, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then upwards from there. But they have everything. They have everything on there. So really worth a look. Really worth a look.
Check it out.
Yeah. So I've put a link to those in the chat as well. So that's me done.
Thank you. Thank you.
This week.
All right. So what else do we need to talk about? Do you want to talk a little bit more about the website selling VSTs, Gary? You want to talk about that topic?
Yeah. Excuse me. It was because naturally I buy a lot of them when I can. About 7 years ago, I realized there's got to be some money in this. And a guy that started one, the name of which escapes me right now, unfortunately, he became a millionaire rather quick. But what I need to try and find out is how you harbor the interest from the companies to wish to allow you to license sell them. That's something I think we should look into, because I think there's a good living in that. And they're amazing pieces of software. They really are, and they get even more incredible all the time. So it's a case of setting up a website, making it secure, proper SSL, credit card payment, security, hack protection,
Mhm.
and then you're going to need to find a way to store software, or maybe it gets downloaded from their websites once you've released the key, because you would have a key, like a 16-digit long hash key, so to speak.
How many VSTs have you got to sell?
No, I don't mean for me to sell. I mean to sell on behalf of the companies.
Oh, I
That's-
see.
Yeah, that's
Like an affiliate thing. So you're selling an official,
yeah,
like
like
someone else,
like a
and then
supermarket, but for
yeah, yeah,
VSTs. Yeah,
got you. Okay, got you. Hmm.
yeah. There's huge money in it because more people are making more music all the time.
Do you
Well,
like? Go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say, have you heard of a techno artist called BT?
I have not.
He was very big in the early 90s, and then towards the end of the millennium, he then started moving into making VSTs, and he's made a career out of it for the last 10 years. So I'll send you some links to those. His name's Brian Transo. He's like a big American techno artist, and he went from being like an artist into doing VSTs. So I'll send you some info.
Oh, wonderful! And it is possible to make your own VSTs if you can code and you've got someone that can create, do field recordings, whatever, or has real instruments that you can sample. It takes a while because you have to use a lot of microphones. You need to sample the different note registers and the different expressions. But there's good money to be made in it, so it might be something to consider. But I'm thinking more along the lines of selling the VSTs that are made by others in that kind of supermarket scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use muso.shop.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Got to use that for something.
Perfect. And you can use with WordPress. I mean, it depends how much content you've got, but just off the top of my head, you can use WordPress, and you can also install the WooCommerce plugin on top of it, which is like an e-commerce plugin, and you can do digital products, can't you? So digital downloads that you buy it, you get a key, you download it, it then invalidates the key, and it's all.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's
Yes.
ideal. Kev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I can, yeah, good idea. Yeah,
Definite food
Mus-
for thought, I think.
Muso.shop, love it.
All right.
That's a good idea.
We're closing in on an hour. I don't have any other topics to discuss. Again, if anybody knows any audio engineers who can do backtracks for music, please pass them our name or pass us their name.
I have a studio that does mastering.
Cool.
Done.
Where are these master files stored? Are they the audio files that the stems are?
The audio files
Yeah.
on your hard drive.
No. I mean, where are they? Have you got any of them?
No, I don't.
Oh, I see. Right, got you.
I've got some recordings, some MP3s, but
Right.
nothing to that effect yet.
Sure.
We're getting there.
Yeah, sure.
Mastering is when you take all the tracks and you put them together, and, for lossless and studio.
Right. And I'm sure when we do transfer the files, we're not just going to email them over. We're going to probably put them up on like OneDrive or Dropbox or Box. They'll be stored in some cloud-based storage that you can send them a link.
Studio we use is really good.
Yeah, I'd like
2 decades.
Nice. I'd like to get in touch with them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll put the chat. Make sure I even have it right.
Because we have 5 songs ready to go.
Cool. Excellent. Huh.
Rob, is it possible for you to play that little snippet that you played to me earlier so James could have a listen?
I will link it in the chat. I still haven't figured out how to run my audio through my mic. So I have this cable thing that's supposed to do it, but keep forgetting how to do it. So there's that.
So on Windows, you probably want something called virtual.
I got one called Cable AB, that does it. I got it working one time, but I forgot how I did it. So I posted something in chat.
Cool.
Take a listen to that.
Thank you.
This is Martin singing my song When I Was Young.
He has such a great voice.
Cool.
The song is great. The words are great. Yeah.
PMA recording studios as well. Nice. Is this you, James?
No, like I said, I know the guy about 20 years. We use them.
Oh, I see. Got you. Cool.
We just moved from. They're in New York and North Carolina now.
Just tell them that there's no security certificate, no SSL, and the new
Yeah.
version of Google has auto forward to HTTPS, and so it will bomb out on some versions of Chrome. So just get them to set up a certificate. You can get SSL certificates for free now.
Yeah. I know. Problem is, if I start giving him advice,
Just a little technical thing. Sorry, just a little.
Then you're on the hook, right?
he'll never leave me alone. Oh, you want to redo the website?
No. Just trying to tell you get a certificate.
But he does want to get. He will have to but he wants to offer it to all MFTU artists, for example.
Not
But
sure about. Sorry.
right now he's still New York and North Carolina, so the website looks like a local town, small town.
Well, the reason is he did this back in 2014.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. It just needs to be brought up to date.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it at all. It's cool. I like the spider stuff on the top. That's cool.
If you go to gear, for example, and you go to the bottom with that big mixer board,
Oh yeah.
Cool.
he loaded that up in my truck and I brought it to the studio for him when he bought it.
I am
Nice.
so jealous. Oh my god. I would love
I had
that.
to teach him. I had to teach him what a flash drive was.
Wow.
Even as a
Pro
CF.
Tool. They use Pro Tool. Yes. Oh wow.
So did you listen to that little snippet that I sent you, James?
Oh no, I didn't know if it was going to interfere with the. I downloaded it.
Oh, okay. Have a listen to it. It's real short.
That is really good.
Yeah. Little sample of what we're doing.
And who was that? That's you guys?
That's Martin. Yeah, and that's my song.
Cool. Nicely done.
Thank
We
you.
are discussing now getting that music how it goes automatically into Itch.Your Radio. We have to start getting it to distribute out to all the channels.
Yeah, I definitely like to, when we get these in the can, if you will, definitely would like to get them up there.
Because right now the automatic distribution is only the IYR. We have to manually go in and pull some out, but I'm having that conversation this coming week.
Cool.
And James also on his Cyber FM Facebook does it Takeover Tuesdays?
We haven't
Is that
done
right,
that.
James?
We haven't done that in a while. Tuesdays is now me on Extreme Free for All, and then Tony. I hand him off to him, and he's out in California. So that way, Extreme has a live shows every day. Be like booked out that week.
Do you guys have like a schedule of shows and stuff like that? Like when they're
Yeah, guilty of not keeping it up to date though.
oh, all right.
Put on a website and click on shows.
Okay.
I don't think both of mine are. I don't think Tony's up.
Yeah, because I know a lot of us would like to tune in when you're on. So
I'm on. Yeah, Tuesdays and Saturdays. I show it on Twitter and Facebook.
okay.
Do you think you'll bring back Takeover Tuesdays or a different day with a different name?
I
So I thought
love.
that was pretty cool.
Love to take over Tuesdays. I just Donna, Gemini Donna, she ran it, and now with the school year taking over, she got overwhelmed. She cut down her Country Roads Diner show to be only independent artists. She canceled the mainstream artist one. Yeah, I need more help. I need staff.
Didn't you?
Takeover Tuesdays was great because we just gave you an editor role in Facebook for that Tuesday, and everybody knows how to go live, right?
Yeah. So basically, each artist would get an opportunity to have a live stream and play their songs to anyone that was
The only
listening.
reason we stopped it was that we ran out of Facebook.
You ran out of Facebook.
Ran out of Facebook. But no, it's not gone. Like it'll be back.
Also, I don't know if you're still in touch with them, but you played a part in promoting the Who, the Mongolian heavy metal band.
Yep. We brought them to the US.
That was cool.
Baby metal tour for Japan.
Yeah, crazy. Great stuff, my friend.
And that's West Love. That's the West Loves. That's what I was talking about. West Loves East Radio. They have like 6 channels, and they're all West Loves East. It's all about what's going on that side of the world. And the Asia Rocks channel is really hot.
Mm.
And she's looking for that. She wants to include U.S. independent rock in that. I think Asia Rocks is going to become more of international rock.
I got a new dog, James. He's yeah.
What a segue.
Well, James was showing his dog off earlier, so I figured I'd show mine.
You have a fire in the back of my room.
Yeah, keeping him warm. So I think we'll end it here, unless anybody has any other topics they want to bring up.
No, that was good. Lots to think about, this week. Yeah.
So you guys need to help me out. You need to go to Cusp Productions and start doing some topic submittals so that we can fill these up. So I'm not the one only creating the topics, that you guys feel a little bit more part of the meeting creation process, so that it's not just me. So
If anybody wants to play with software to broadcast, you just want basically Shoutcast compatible broadcast software.
Shoutcast compatible broadcast software. All right.
Shoutcast is the protocol.
Okay.
Shoutcast, right. Let's write that down. Cool.
Very cool. Well, thank
I
you.
guess if you go with like the professional software, the Sirius satellite uses $300. But which really, I mean, for a $1 billion radio network like Sirius, like really? That's what you use?
$300.
We use it, but
We spent that on sushi last week.
there's a free. The guy in Boston uses Radio Boss Windows. So I'm in Mac, so I use totally different stuff.
Are you using a different mic this week?
I'm on the iMac mic. I think.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds a little muddled compared to what you normally are.
And how's that sound better?
Oh, worlds
Oh,
apart.
wow, that's much better.
Yeah,
I can understand.
You are listening to Cyber FM Radio.
There you go.
Wow.
We have James back. It's not the little iMac guy. Yeah.
It's funny because I'm in Zoom all the time,
Right.
and then I'm like, I'll do a show tonight, and then I'll go to Zoom tomorrow, and they're like, we can't hear you, and the board's all turned off, you know. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, is that better? You know.
Uh, Very cool. Well, thank you so much, everyone. If there's anything you guys need, you guys know how to get in touch with me. I'm here, and we'll do it all again next week. I think it was a good meeting. I think everybody got something out of this, and let's keep up the pace and help me with those topics, guys.
Yeah.
And
Don't hang
don't.
up for a minute.
Oh, sure.
I want to take this might sound crazy,
All right.
but I look good right now. How do I make this full screen?
Hot stuff.
In
Baby.
South Georgia, it's hard to have a good hair day. I want to view?
If you, in the top right, there's a view. You can go speaker view.
Speaker view, but does that mean no?
Who's ever
That doesn't
speaking
mean-
will show up. If
But
full
not-
screen.
No, it's not doing it. I'm still seeing you.
Oh, maybe you don't see yourself.
You're not allowed to be a narcissist on Zoom.
Guess not.
Let me go back to gallery, and then I'll say, James, full screen. Remember before I had maxed out screen. How did I do that? Nope. Son of a bitch. Zoom meeting. Window. Enter full screen. All right. Well, I'll work with what I got here. Hold on. Good enough. I'll play with it later.
Also, James, explicitly fine tasting T-shirt, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I love the GNR t-shirt.
I attended that UN partnership meeting in a Van Halen shirt.
Did you? I think my
Hello,
dog-
I'm the director of the United Nations. I was like, hi, I'm James Tiley from Cyber FM Radio. Van Halen rocks.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you again, everybody. I really appreciate your time. I know you guys are all busy, but I think hopefully you guys are getting something out of these meetings, learning a little bit every time.
Oh,
Every
hell
day's a
yeah.
school day, Rob.
We do.
What's that?
Every day is a school day, Rob.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
But I love meeting with you guys because someone told me once, never be the smartest guy in the room. And you guys
You're in the wrong room.
you're in the wrong room if you're the smartest guy. But it definitely holds true, and I get a lot out of this from you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, me too. I love
Yeah,
it.
likewise.
So
Yeah, lots to think about. That whole VST thing is. I'll speak to you about this, Gary. We'll talk further about this.
Should we have a chat after this? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just go and do a coffee, and I'll call you back in a minute.
Sounds good to me, my friend.
all right, everyone. Have a
Right.
great rest of your
Thank you,
weekend.
everybody.
Okay. Hey,
Fabrizio, stay
bye
on.
everyone. And
Yes,
Fabrizio.
I'm staying. Ciao, James. Ciao, Kevin.
Thanks, James. Bye,
Ciao,
guys.
Gary.
Have a
Bye,
nice
Gary.
weekend.
Bye everyone.
Ciao,
Enjoy your
Fabsy.
weekend.
Love you, bro.
Ciao, ciao, mate.
Ciao.
See you soon.
Take care, everyone. Much love. Oh, we're staying?
No.
Oh, Kev's gone. Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Okay,
Gary.